Hey, what's up everyone? It's the narrator here and I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and if your day is over, well, I hope it was a great one. Now, in some very shocking news, popular Twitch broadcaster Hashinshin has been outed for grooming allegations put forward by two Twitter users, Katie's and Vicky, who were both 15 and 17 at the time. If you're unaware of who Hashinshin is, he's most notably known as the infamous high-level player in the League of Legends streaming community playing the top lane role. He's known for basically being the guy who shifts blame on everyone but himself whenever he falls behind, and you can find many videos of that type of behavior on YouTube. Now, the allegations did arise on July 18th, but I initially didn't address them for the sake of fairness. I wanted to include his statement on the matter, which will come later on in the video. So what the hell happened? Well, on July 18th, a user by the name of Katie's went onto Twitter and a twit longer exposing how she was groomed by Hashinshin when she was only 15 years old. She starts the document by saying that she's coming out in the hopes that she will prevent him from hurting other young girls in the future. She also goes on to say that she didn't realize it at the time, but looking back at it, she was definitely being groomed by him, and she's concerned about others who have experienced the same thing with Hashinshin. And to her defense, she was 15 at the time and admired the attention she was receiving from a big YouTuber, so it didn't seem like a big deal to her at the time. Now, I'd just like to say before going on to the next part that they spoke on multiple platforms, okay? And that the Discord has been indeed verified to be Hashinshin's and nothing has been altered in any way, despite the fact that the account will say that it's a deleted user. Now, to start, guys, he was fully aware of the girl's age at the time. You know, I think Hashinshin was about 28, 27. And, you know, he acknowledges the fact that she was 15 and that soon you'll be 16 and a big girl. And then going on to say things like, what if I asked you something personal and embarrassing? Well, I asked you one a month ago and you got all shy, calling her kitty and saying she's cute. And then when she asks what he wants, he says probably some old perverted man stuff. That's a joke, Maya. And then going to say, okay, just regular perverted stuff then. Unfortunately, things don't end there, and quite frankly, they get way worse. We're now going to move on to some damning evidence that show how Hashinshin was actively trying to keep their friendship a secret through Twitter DMs. Katie claims he didn't actually want to follow her on Twitter or like any of her posts because she believes he didn't want people to find out that he was following a minor. And the most evident case of this is this screenshot where he says, "I'm glad you've always kept our friendship a secret." And when he exclaims that he liked her badminton outfit and she says he didn't even like the post, he says he liked it in secret. Now, to extend on this, he sends a series of Twitter DMs to her once he found out that she actually has a private Twitter account. And to me, it seems like he thinks that there were going to be, you know, somewhat lewd photos on the account, and he actively persuades her to actually let him follow the account, even going as far to follow her main account in the hopes of gaining access to the private account. But guys, perhaps the worst evidence of grooming comes in the form of the Discord messages that I'm about to present. Now, there are a ton of screenshots that are posted here, so I'm going to go through and show you guys the most notable ones. Again, even though it shows deleted user, it has been confirmed to be Hashinshin's account. So in this picture, he talks about rubbing her butt and slapping it. In this picture, he talks about sliding his hand under her skirt and then pinching her nipples. In this picture, he talks about fitting her for a bra. In this picture, he talks about how he likes how much boobage is in the latest picture she posted. In this picture, he talks about how she might have a little dick in her before asking for a cute picture. In this picture, he's talking about straight up being her daddy and potentially friend with benefits. Now, honestly, guys, there's over 16 screenshots showing really creepy behavior by Hashinshin that I feel like if you want to see the full extent of what he said, I'm going to leave a link in the description below that will take you to the Katie Girls Google document, and you can take a look at it yourself, because I've only shown you guys, I think, 6 photos of like what I think is notable, and there's way more, okay? And to make matters even worse, guys, another user named Vicky came out with her own tweet longer that I'll link down below, but I'm not going to go through her entire ordeal, not because I don't want to, but because it's Discord DMs that follow the same trend as Katie's, evidence, you know, showing him being very high on his own popularity, saying things to Vicky like, "I'll follow you if you say I'm hot and dream with me." So moving on to the Hashinshin statement, he originally put out an apology but took it down as he believed it to be the words of him in a state of madness. He then put out a Google document named A Reasonable Acceptance of Blame, where he outlines his thoughts on the situation. But my god, guys, and this is just my personal opinion, but his attempts to deflect the blame are pretty crazy. Again, I'll leave a link to the document below if you want to read the full thing, but for the most part, I'll keep it short. He does say in the Google document that both allegations are real and that they did happen, but he also goes on to say that he believes that he wasn't grooming either of them because he never tried to advance the relationship, he didn't express interest in nudes, and he never tried to meet up with them or isolate them. So furthermore, he goes on to state some of the attacks that he's been receiving on Twitter, and most notably is the obvious one, which is the grooming allegations, which he says this. In the attack, it says you groomed girls. In response, he says, I didn't. I say again, what I did was wrong. It was gross. It was extremely creepy, but it was not grooming. I want people to understand that this isn't some Ben Shapiro video and this isn't League of Legends. In LoL, we're so used to exaggerating and calling everything inting that we get used to just using the worst description possible for something. This wasn't grooming. Continuing to call it just hurts people who've actually been groomed because you're starting to dumb it down and make it mean less. I want to repeat, I never attempted to advance the relationship. I never attempted to isolate her. I never attempted to meet her, and I certainly never asked for any kind of nude pictures. Quite frankly, guys, I don't want to go too far into the document as it touches on his attempt to take his own life, but quite frankly, and I say this as my own personal opinion, I think it's pretty clear cut that he was fully aware of what he was doing in the messages he was sending to these girls. I mean, you have to be really reaching hard to think that this man wasn't trying to groom Katie and Vicky, and this idea that he's promoting that he never intended to groom the girls is just straight manipulation. I mean, making her call him big bro, asking for cute pics of her, telling her he can be her daddy, friends with benefits, and just the overall creepiness of essentially role-playing, patting her butt, amongst other things, paint an entirely different story to what he's trying to push, and it's just disgusting. So yeah guys, that's the end of the video. My channel is dedicated towards giving you all clear and concise information regarding events trending in the gaming world right now. No 15 to 20 minute ramblings giving hot takes that could be done in 5 to 10 minutes. So please consider subscribing and liking the video if this is something you're interested in. Cheers.